All right, we'll get started. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to City Council meeting this evening. We'll call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum, and we'll declare the meeting open. I'm going to ask Council Member Henry Marroquin if he'll lead us in the pledge and invocation, please. If you will, Henry.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you bow your heads, please? Father, we thank you for the abundant and wonderful blessings you bring us daily. We thank you for the opportunity you are giving us to grow as a city and as a community. Father, we pray to you that we will have a very productive meeting today, and we pray that you give us the grace to come up with the best solutions for the benefits of our community. Father, we ask you to look after our first responders as they serve our community and to always be with us in our daily routines. We ask this in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Thank you, Henry. All right, Council, we have several meeting minutes to approve. We've got the called City Council meeting of April 19th, the called City Council meeting of May 26th, the called City Council meeting of June 7th, the called City Council meeting of June 16th, the called City Council meeting of September 22nd, and the regular City Council meeting of May 1st, 2023.
I have a question.
Okay.
Well, why so many and why so far back?
I actually took some vacation last year.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
congratulations. Okay, I move to approve.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, we've got a very special presentation here. I'm going to recognize Chief Jason Jeffcoat. If you'll come forward and tell us what's going on.
Mayor, Council, thank you all for allowing me to speak tonight. You'll be happy to know that I'm not asking for anything or requesting anything, so it's a good day. So I just wanted to publicly recognize a couple of our officers that went above and beyond in some life-saving efforts during January of this year. So basically what had happened is Officer Peters was flagged down by a female and said there was a passenger in her vehicle that was unresponsive. Officer Peters got there and immediately recognized that it looked like the female was overdosing on some type of narcotic. The female was unresponsive, and she immediately started administering Narcan, which is offsets the effects of fentanyl. And she then started administering CPR as well. A few seconds later, Officer Tyler Carroll got there as well. They went back and forth. This female was completely out of it. She was gone. They were able to resuscitate her and bring her back to life, without a doubt. I really wanted to show the video today, but it was pretty graphic. I didn't think it was set for this crowd here today. But if you'll allow me to bring Officer Peters and Officer Carroll up, please. And I'm going to read their citation for them. And they both read the same, but I'll just read them both. Okay. On January 22nd, 2023, Officer Kara Peters and Officer Tyler Carroll were Officer Peters was flagged down by a citizen driving in the 200 block of East Houston. The driver advised there was an unresponsive female in the backseat of her vehicle. Her face and hands were already blue in color. Officer Peters recognized the symptoms of a possible overdose and quickly acted by calling for backup, administering a dosage of Narcan, and removing the victim from inside the vehicle to begin CPR. Officer Carroll arrived and notified dispatch and responding officers of a possible overdose victim. Officer Carroll and Officer Peters took turns administering CPR and 2 more doses of Narcan. Prior to medical personnel arriving, the victim was resuscitated and became responsive enough to provide her name. Sherman Fire arrived shortly and transferred to the hospital for further treatment. A day later, Corporal Dutton contacted the hospital and was advised the victim was in stable condition and that the responding officer saved her life. In addition, Chief Hartsville from Sherman Fire stated that the PT staff and their personnel played an integral part of the survival of the patient. The actions of Officer Peters and Officer Carroll not only prolonged the life of the victim, but contribute to the saving of a human life. In recognition of their actions, they are both issued the Sherman Police Department Life Saving Award. thank you for allowing me to honor that today. I just want members of our community to know that we do have some fine officers that go out there every day protecting our streets. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Absolutely. Thank you, both of you, for that. Wow. So very proud of our PD and fire. Thank you so much for what y'all do on our streets every day, taking care of our citizens. All right, at this time, I'm going to recognize the Texoma Behavioral Health Leadership Team. Y'all, there he is. Okay, so
Evening.
good afternoon. Yeah. So we have prepared a proclamation for Mental Health Awareness Month. Thank you, Tim. It's always good to see you. And I want you to introduce your staff here a little bit, or your folks here, and say a little bit about, or Brett.
Sure.
And the proclamation says, whereas the area that someone lives and plays, the area that someone lives and plays a significant role in their overall health and well-being, whereas surroundings can impact if, how, and when a person's needs are met. This in turn affects mental health, and whereas having safe, stable, and healthy home conditions set the foundation for achieving and maintaining good mental health, and whereas with early and effective interventions, those individuals with mental health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives, whereas mental health conditions are real and prevalent in our nation, whereas each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizen shares the burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support prevention efforts. Now, therefore, I, David Plyler, Mayor of the City of Sherman, by the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim May 2023 Mental Health Awareness Month in the City of Sherman, and urge all citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools in Sherman, Texas, to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, the steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health, and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental health conditions. So with that, Brett, I'll send this proclamation to you. Thank you very much. If you'll just speak. Thank you.
I'm Brett Smith. I'm chair of TBHLT. Standing with me is Tim Miller, our director, Gail Utter, who's been a board member and actually co-founder, is with us today, and then Sylvia Kay from TCC. And that acronym is the Texoma Community Center. They, the LMHA, and that acronym is the local mental health authority, without whom nothing gets done. We started this group 5-6 years ago, and I know that City of Sherman has been very active. I know that Councilman Tiemann has been a board member and officer in the past, as well as Public Safety Director, Mr. Flores, who didn't want to come up here today, but I'll put him on the spot anyway, former chair. So we've had a lot of really important resources from the city, and I want to thank the mayor and the council folks for having us out today to recognize this. There's a lot of work being done. We've made tremendous strides in access to care through TCC, reduction of stigma through TBHLT, and also just making sure that we do jail diversion is really important. So, because the jails have become essentially as is law enforcement, unfortunately, we have to deal with mental health issues firsthand in law enforcement and incarceration, and that's really not how it should be done. So anyway, we just want to thank y'all for helping us recognize May as Mental Health Awareness Month.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. All right, we are to citizen comments. We'll take comments from citizens regarding anything on the agenda this evening. Is there anyone here to address the council?
Thank you.
Not-
One day.
Okay, come on. If you'll step forward and state your name and address for the record, please.
My name's Mitzi Weiniger, and I'm here on, I think it was item H7.
Okay.
Was here for the previous Planning and Zoning Committee. It's a replat concerning Stonewood Estates. And we brought up, several neighbors attended, and we brought up our concerns. I just wanted to, sorry I'm so nervous,
It's okay.
but I'm not used to speaking on a microphone at all.
It's okay.
But the lots are, that the replat is going to be really skinny to the neighborhood. And we also have restrictive cut covenants, so it makes it difficult to meet those when you have a lot as small as what it's being rezoned to. So I just wanted to voice my concerns again, only because I was told at the previous meeting that it met the minimum zoning requirement, so therefore they could do nothing but approve it. But then this article came out in the Herald Democrat concerning Washington Street Division, and the reason given was because it didn't meet the character of the neighborhood, and the size of the lots were small. All the things that we brought up, and they said no to that. So I'm a little confused as to why there's a difference between the Washington project and what we were talking about. So it probably won't change anything, but I just wanted to let you know that this is not a very big area. Stonewood Estates is essentially one street that makes kind of like a horseshoe. There's Arapahoe East and Arapahoe West. It's a very old neighborhood with character, very large and old oak trees. In fact, they're going to have to probably tear down some trees that are, maybe 100 years old to do this. So anyway, thank you for listening. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out and speaking.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah. How are you tonight, Mr. Kraus?
Oh, I'm good. My name is Ben Kraus. I live at 920 Brown Road, and I'm the owner of Ben Kraus LLC. These lots over here are a third of an acre in size that is being changed. That's larger than most of the lots that are currently even on Arapahoe East and West. There was an HOA in Stonewood Estates back in the day that has since doesn't exist anymore, but even in those documents that the HOA required a minimum square footage of 2,200 square feet. But even if it did still exist, that's what we plan on going back with. Like I said, they're a third of an acre in size. And I don't plan on tearing down any of the nice trees. Thanks.
Thank you, Ben. Yes, if you'll make it quick. Okay.
The restrictive covenant, I have a copy of it here. It says it does not expire. It was set for 30 years. Every 10 years, it automatically renews. So as far as I know, it's all the requirements are still in place.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else? All right. We're going to, next item is the consent agenda. These items are considered to be routine and be enacted in one motion without discussion unless a council member or a citizen requests a specific item be discussed and voted on separately. These items consist of G6 and G7. Would anybody like these broken apart for any reason? Okay.
Move to approve consent.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. We have the consent agenda with the staff review letter. These items are considered to be routine and enacted in one motion, subject to the staff review letter, without discussion unless a council member or citizens request a specific item be discussed and voted on separately. These items include H4, H5, H6, H7, H8, H9, H10, H11, H12, H13, 14, and 15.
Mr. Mayor, I ask that we pull H7 just so we can discuss it publicly.
Very good. Any others? Okay.
I make a motion that we approve a double asterisk consent subject to a staff review letter outside of all agenda items other than H7.
Second.
Motion in a few seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, we'll go back. Let's go ahead and tackle H7.
So, ma'am, this is your agenda item here that we're talking about.
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
No, we're to it now.
So, we just wanted to give you a little bit of context. This is a site plan change, which that land is zoned SF6, which is single family 60-foot lots. And so we can't legally deny a site plan change as long as it follows all the current ordinances for SF6. The difference in the other item that you mentioned last time was that it was an actual zone change from 6 to SF5.
And so that is allowable to be denied. But because it fits the SF6 zoning, there's really nothing you can do to change it other than as long as the site plan complies with the zoning ordinance. That about right?
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add, Rob?
Did you need a job?
This one pays so much. I don't know if I can.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah, unless you had any further questions on that. But.
I was just trying to prevent what hopefully won't.
Okay.
Move to approve H7.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, we'll open.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, at this time, we'll open public hearing. Linda, if you'll read F1 and F2 together, please.
Ordinance 6590, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sherman extending the corporate limits of said city so as to annex an area of land consisting of approximately 78 acres, generally located north of Post Oak Creek, south of Three Oaks Phase 2, and along the Burlington-Santa Fe Railroad adjacent to the Sherman city limits and in the City of Sherman's extraterritorial jurisdiction, on application of the landowner, providing that the owners and inhabitants of the subject area of land shall be entitled to the rights and privileges of other citizens of the City of Sherman, and shall be bound by the acts and ordinances now in effect and hereinafter adopted, authorizing execution of the annexation service plan agreement, providing for a penalty for a violation of this ordinance and Sherman's general zoning ordinance, ordinance number 2280. Ordinance 6591, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sherman extending the corporate limits of said city so as to annex an area of land consisting of approximately 25.08 acres, generally located north of Post Oak Creek, east of U.S. Highway 75, and south of Three Oaks Phase 2, adjacent to the Sherman city limits and in the City of Sherman's extraterritorial jurisdiction, on application of the landowner, providing that the owners and inhabitants of the subject area of land shall be entitled to the rights and privileges of other citizens of the City of Sherman and shall be bound by the acts and ordinances now in effect and hereinafter adopted, authorizing execution of the annexation service plan agreement, providing for a penalty for a violation of this ordinance and Sherman's general zoning ordinance, ordinance number 2280.
Thank you, Linda. Clint?
So both of these properties are adjacent to each other. They're south of Park Street, between South Travis Street and the railroad on the south end of town. The first one is 78 acres that the city has owned. I actually went back and looked. Part of the deeds show that we've owned this tract since 1958, and the other showed that we had owned it since 1901, which tells me it's really old. But this is an area that we look forward to moving towards plans of development of open space and park space on the south end of town. And then the second parcel is 25 acres, which is essentially phase 1 and 2 of Three Oaks. Phase 1 is complete. There's houses going up. And phase 2 is under construction. This would be a continued phase of that development in hopes that we continue to work with that developer on development along Post Oak for more recreational areas.
Thank you, Clint. Is there anyone here to address this item this evening? Okay. All right, Linda, if you'll read F3 for us, please.
Ordinance 6592, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sherman closing and abandoning a portion of dedicated right-of-way in the City of Sherman, Grayson County, Texas, being more particularly described in the Exhibit A2 attached hereto and made a part hereof for all purposes, said right-of-way being established in instrument number 2022-15606 of the official public records of Grayson County, Texas.
Okay. Thank you, Linda. Wayne?
Evening, Mayor, Council. So this abandonment has to do with abandoning a portion of a strip of right-of-way that Heritage Ranch acquired across the tract of land that's outside of their actual planned development in order to extend Murphy Lane. After we got into engineering and laying out the roads for Heritage Ranch, different alignment was determined for the extension of Murphy Lane. So there's a section that we need to abandon so that the property owner can claim that back. And there's a later item, G4, that will acquire some additional right-of-way for realignment.
Thank you, Wayne. Is there anyone here to address this item this evening? Pardon me. All right, if not, Linda, if you'll read F4, please.
Ordinance 6593, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sherman amending Sherman's zoning ordinance, Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14, to rezone a tract of land consisting of 0.169 acres, being a part of the George Pilot Survey Abstract Number 963, and being the south 25 feet of Lot 3 and the north 27.5 feet of Lot 4, Block 2 of W.D. Fitch Addition, City of Sherman, Grayson County, Texas, located at 1013 South First Street, heretofore zoned R6 Single Family Residential District, rezoning and placing the tract in an R5 Single Family Residential District zoning classification.
Thank you, Linda. Rob?
Yeah, good evening, Mayor and Council. This item is for rezoning from an R6 classification to an R5 classification to build a single-family home. Planning and Zoning heard the item on April 18th and voted to recommend approval 7-0. This recommended zone change does conform to our master plan.
Thank you, Rob. Is there anyone here to address this item this evening?
Jonathan Earnhardt, 110 South Houston Avenue, Denison, Texas. I'm just here to answer any questions. That we're just building a single family home. That lot was two parcels, and then I think we needed to zone it to fit the neighborhood so we can do that replat.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right. Linda, if you'll read F5 for us, please.
Ordinance 6594, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sherman amending Sherman's zoning ordinance, Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14, and granting a specific use permit to allow an automobile repair, body work, or painting and boat recreational vehicle, RV rental, storage, and repair in a C2 retail business district located at 4613 North FM 1417, building number 200 and number 300, Heritage Parkway, consisting of 20.45 acres, being a part of the Alfred Hume Survey Abstract Number 522, the Benjamin J. Hudson Survey Abstract Number 496, and the James L. Atchison Survey Abstract Number 21, City of Sherman, Grayson County, Texas.
Okay, thank you. Linda, Rob?
Yeah, this item is for a specific use permit to allow an auto and boat repair shop at this location. It's an existing structure. They currently are using it for a pool company. Planning and Zoning heard this item on April 18th and recommended approval with the condition that it be tied to the applicant, Clear Edge Auto and Marine, and that it shall expire in 1 year. They would have to renew it in a year. And the use is compatible with our master plan, and happy to answer any questions.
Okay.
What was the vote? 7-0.
Thank you, Rob. Is there anyone here to address this item this evening?
Brett Burdette, Clear Edge Auto and Marine, 4613 FM 1417, buildings 100 through 300, 200 and 300 being the auto shop.
Okay, so you're here to answer questions?
If needs
Okay.
be.
All right, very good. We'll get to you in just a moment. Anyone else? All right, Linda, if you'll read F6 for us, please.
Ordinance 6595, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sherman amending Sherman's zoning ordinance, Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14, to rezone a tract of land consisting of 0.233 acres in the J.B. McInerney Survey Abstract Number 763, and being all of Lot 1 of Bill and Stanley Addition, also being Lot 2, Polani Addition, City of Sherman, Grayson County, Texas, located at 208 West McLean Street, heretofore zoned R6 Single Family Residential District, rezoning and placing the tract in the R-2F Duplex Residential District zoning classification.
Okay, thank you, Linda. Rob?
Yeah, this item is for a zone change from an R6 to a duplex zoning district, R2F. The applicant is wanting to replat this property into 2 lots. There's currently a single-family home on one of the lots. The other lot, which was approved through consent earlier today, they would like to rezone it to a duplex so that they could build 2 units on the other lot that's currently vacant. Planning and Zoning heard this item at the April 18th meeting and voted to recommend approval 7-0. This does conform to our comprehensive master plan.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Is there anyone here to address this item this evening?
Hamid Polani, 3645 Capstone Lane, Plano. I'm here for answer any questions.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thanks.
there anyone else to speak on this item? Okay. Linda, if you'll read F7 for us, please.
Ordinance 6596, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sherman amending Sherman's zoning ordinance, Code of Ordinances, Chapter 14, to rezone a tract of land consisting of 3.896 acres, being part of the G.W. McLaughlin Survey, Abstract Number 827, and the S. McLaughlin Survey, Abstract Number 808, City of Sherman, Grayson County, Texas, located at 2450 North Frisco Road, heretofore zoned C2 General Commercial District and R6 Single Family Residential District, rezoning and placing the tract in the C2 General Commercial District zoning classification.
Okay. Thank you, Linda. Rob?
Yeah, this item is for a rezoning from an R6 to a C2 district. The property owner and developer were requested a zone change back in 2020 for the bottom half of the property to rezone it to C2. They started developing that bottom half of the property, and they were able to acquire the northern part of the property, which was zoned R6. So they wanted to include that in the development. So they're requesting the zone change for that, for the entire site to be zoned C2. Planning and zoning heard this item and voted 7-0 to recommend approval. It is consistent with our master plan.
Okay. Thank you, Rob. So anyone here to address this item this evening? Okay. If not, we'll close public hearing and consider the adoption of ordinances. Council, questions, discussion, comments?
I just have a question on F4. And it's because you're building next door to the lot. Are you not, sir? Mr. Earnhardt? Are you not building next door to the lot you're requesting tonight?
No, we sold that lot to Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, okay.
We're building on that lot.
Okay. The one you're working on right now has an unusual roof line.
Yes. So that's on this property.
And I like it. And it's not really a question, but if you haven't seen it, it is an unusual roof line for Sherman and everything. And so I'm glad to see someone's just not doing one of the regular houses, just like they look, every one of them the same. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
If there's no other questions, move to approve 6950, 6951, 6952, 6953, 6954, 6590. Start over. 6590, 6591, 6592, 6593, 6594, 6595, and 6596.
Second.
Okay. Motion in a couple of seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Yeah,
all right.
No problem.
Linda, if you'll read G1 for us, please.
Resolution 7073, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sherman authorizing execution of an agreement with David Downtown doing business as RP Sherman Properties 2 LLC under the City of Sherman's Downtown Building Improvement Grant Program for renovations to 207 South Travis Street.
Thank you, Linda. Good evening, Nate.
Mr. Mayor, Council, great to see all your smiling faces tonight. I'm back with the latest part in our ongoing series, Downtown's Downtown, Downtown's Downtown. I was hoping we'd have up on there the mock-up of how this building is going to look. Oh, there it is. Great. If you have driven by this building before, you've probably never noticed that it was there. Right now, it's got a really flat, boring front facade. And so as you can see, he's going to completely redo that. It should be a major spot of emphasis for that block after the project's done. So one other one we're excited about. And of course, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Downtown here for any questions.
Excellent. Council, any questions, discussions?
Move to approve 7073.
Second. Okay, motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, David, for your continued investment in downtown. All right, Linda, if you'll read G2 for us, please.
Resolution 7074, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sherman approving the Greater Texoma Utility Authority's intention to award the guaranteed maximum price to for Garney Companies Incorporated for the 36-inch West Sherman water main.
Thank you, Linda. Oh, there you are. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. with concurrence to award with Greater Texoma Utility Authority. This GMP number 2, the contractor Garney would be able to proceed with construction staking, the stormwater pollution prevention plan installation and inspection services, all the tunnels or the tunnel installations for this, and the clearing and grubbing and the temporary gates associated. So this is a first construction package, so to speak. Approval will initiate contract execution, and then the contract should be begin construction as soon as possible. The bid packages 3 and 4 will still remain. Package 3 will be the pipe procurement. Bid package 4 will be the construction. We would expect, I think, the bid package 3 in May 25th, sometime in August, the construction. Questions I'd be happy to answer.
Questions, council?
Move to approve Resolution 7074.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Linda, if you'll read G3 for us, please.
Resolution 7075, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sherman authorizing the execution of Amendment Number 1 to the Professional Services Agreement with Friesen Nichols Incorporated for design of the Northwest and Southwest Transmission Pipeline.
Thank you, Linda. Tom?
Yes, sir. So the purpose of this engineering addendum is to provide for additional engineering services that would require we added 2,250 linear feet on the south end of this. That would be the portion of the water line along Shepherd Drive. Also, the additional special services for the easement documents that will be associated along that route. The Army Corps of Engineers and pre-construction notification. Those are added services. The archaeological investigation. That is due to the additional service line as well as we added the elevated storage tank site to this. Be happy to entertain any questions if you have.
Tom, is that within our contingency that was already pre-budgeted for that project? Is that dollar amount?
So this is the engineering portion, right, Tom?
It is engineering.
And normally it's the construction of that we would put the contingency in from that. This one really is, we added
Yeah, I hear you.
half a mile.
Environmental was added.
Yeah.
And additional pipeline.
So there probably is no.
So there's probably no contingency.
We did
from the
have
engineering side.
$9.7 million in contingency.
How much?
Overall,
issue?
Yeah, in the overall project.
How much?
9.7 million. 9.4. I'm sorry.
Say that 140 falls under that number. So
Yeah.
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Who
Motion
was the
carries.
motion and second?
give it to Josh.
Give it to, yeah, sure. Why not?
Second, give that to Ms. Howard.
Okay.
All right.
We'll just all share.
You'll read G4 for us.
Resolution 7076, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sherman authorizing the city manager or his designee to finalize negotiations and to finalize and execute documents for the acquisition of real property from Legacy Title Holding Corporation.
Thank you, Linda. Wayne?
Okay, so this just kind of goes back to F3, where we abandoned a portion of the Murphy Lane extension due to realignment. This is just acquisition of additional right-of-way for that realignment.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, Linda, if you'll read G5 for us, please.
Resolution 7077, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sherman awarding a bid to and authorizing execution of a contract with Belt Construction of Texas, LLC, based on an invitation to bid for the 2022 Southside Industrial Sewer Line Phase 1.
Okay. Thank you, Linda. Tom?
Thank you. We opened bids on this project on April 25th, And we had our engineers, Beakley Barfield, review qualifications, and have found the low bidder. We have 4 bids. The low bidder to be competent and capable of accomplishing this work. They had a lot of similar projects. This is going to be phase 1 of 2. Winter Point. It will go from here to roughly here, across the Bel Air. This part of it up here will be phase 2. It is in the budget with council approval. Execute contracts and construction on this project as soon as possible.
Okay.
It is a 365-day contract.
Thank you, Tom. Council questions?
The only question I have for you, Tom, is we shouldn't expect anything over the contingency allowance moving forward unless we make changes with our new bid process, I would assume. Would that be accurate?
There should be no expected changes. This is the first project since y'all wanted to institute that I've added that.
Yeah, I saw that. That's great.
Yeah, this is the first one. So hopefully we wouldn't have to use it. But if we don't use it, we'll be $500,000 under budget.
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. All right, Linda, if you'll read H1 for us, please.
Final plat of Earnhardt Builds 12th edition, being a replat of the south 25 feet of Lot 3 and the north 27.5 feet of Lot 4, Block 2 of W.D. Fitch edition, consisting of 0.169 acres, being a part of the George Pilot Survey Abstract Number 963, and being the south 25 feet of Lot 3 and the north 27.5 feet of Lot 4, Block 2 of W.D. Fitch edition, and currently zoned R6 Single Family Residential District. Jason Earnhardt, Earnhardt Built LLC owner and Copley Land Surveying Surveyor, 1013 South First Street.
Okay, thank you, Linda. Rob?
Yeah, this item was related to item F4, the zone change from R6 to R5. It was taken off consent agenda because it needed to be approved following the zoning change approval, and that was approved, so staff recommends approval of this plat.
Okay. Council, questions, discussion about the plat?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, H2, repair and rework of the Shepherd 1 Trinity Well under emergency designation. Tom?
Yes, Council Mayor. We had the Shepherd 1 T well go down. It's kind of a larger contract or a larger outage than normal because we have to repair the casing. We currently had, when the well went down, we had a total of 4 wells plus the Ida Road pump station. So we're really short on the groundwater. For that reason, we wanted to declare this as an emergency designation. And we got Weisinger to pull the well, identify the problems, and their recommendations are to repair the casing and the repair of the well, and for a total of $730,000. We will be able to complete this work in 9.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Council, any questions regarding this work?
Move to approve the emergency designation.
Second.
Okay, motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we've got H3, repair and rework of the Dorchester 9 Trinity Well under emergency designation. Tom?
Again, summer coming on, another groundwater well that is sorely needed to keep into service, especially as summer comes on. The contractor recommends complete rehabilitation. That would be out of about $316,800. They'll get started on that as soon as possible as well. We would put in the contract for 30 days to rehabilitate.
Thank you, Tom. Questions, comments on this repair?
Robbie, I got a quick question for you. So have we considered, I know we're paying these out of the utility fund. Have we considered a mainstream system, as we know that our wells are going to be in much more demand moving forwards, to do a wide stream upgrade so that we can bond for it and not necessarily take away funds out of our utility fund?
So yes, let me explain a little bit on that. Number one, we're currently engaging someone to look at, are there other additional wells that we can drill, other capacities, increases that we can get by adding more to our well system. Secondly, the life cycle of these well repairs isn't 20, 25, 30 years. They're probably more like 10 to 15 years. So we would, for drilling a new well, the answer would be yes, that we would maybe consider those to be longer life, that we could consider bonding. For even a wholesale replacement like this probably doesn't meet my kind of internal threshold for bonding. You know, I don't want to bond for 25 years for something that's only going to last 15. So the answer is partially yes. On these, no, but other things that we're looking at, possibly yes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. All right, we're at council comments. By in a hurry, didn't it? Guess I'm gonna start with you tonight.
Down here, I'd just like to thank Officers Kara Peters and Tyler Carroll again for all their hard work, and that's it. Thank you.
I did all that. Nothing else.
I have no comment tonight.
None for me.
Yeah, I did Justin, and I'd also like to say thank you to Henry for putting on a great event in downtown Sherman. We've had a couple over the last couple of weeks, and it's exciting to see our downtown really thriving. I see Sarah out there, and we appreciate all of your efforts as well in downtown. So thank you all for that.
No comments from me.
All right. So just a few announcements tonight. My favorite time of the year is nearly here again. Hot Summer Nights will kick off in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. The Glenn Miller Orchestra on June 1st. That's incredible. It's going to be a fun summer of live music this year. First we've ever been able to craft a lineup with 0 cover bands. I'll have y'all know. Just for you, Chief. So mark your calendars for Thursday nights and come join us for Sherman's signature summer event. Sherman Parks and Rec has several camps lined up this summer, including volleyball and basketball. You can sign up the kids by going to shermanparks.com. Finally, this evening, make plans to join Sherman Main Street for the annual Imagine the Possibilities Tour on May 25th at 5 p.m. The tour will visit several newly renovated properties in our central business district, including several that have utilized our new grant program to help fund these projects. I hope our council and the public at large will come out and see all that downtown Sherman has to offer. All right. So with that, at 5:40.
Motion.
Motion and second to
Then we have
adjourn.
a second here.
Yeah, so we are adjourned. Thank you. Thank you again for coming tonight.
He was going to take us to the
No, he canceled it. Only 2 people. Everybody.